Hello everyone, hope you're all having a good day. If you came for my intro video, welcome back. Happy to see you again. If not, I'll introduce myself. My name's Tony, the Ambitious Autist, and today I wanted to cover a topic for those who might need it or for those who would like to learn from a perspective of someone similar. What is a high-functioning autist childhood like? Now, before I start, I know that my experiences aren't the same as everyone else with high-functioning autism, but perhaps it would be nice to go over what you could do to make your child feel more comfortable in their skin during their childhood years, which I'd say is between the ages of 3 to 10. Anytime before, well, that's an infant. Anytime after, that's what I like to call a preteen or teenager. Sounds good? Great, let's get rolling. Childhood for high-functioning autists is what I like to call the learning stages. Yes, I know that child development is a thing for any child, for that matter, but it's a little different for those who have high-functioning autism. In our younger years, which I'd say is 4 to 6 years old, we start to learn about the world and our developmental issues at hand, mostly through external sources such as our parents and this is going to lead to my next point, therapists. Yes, therapists, the cornerstone to improving your fault at speech and social skills. I personally went to therapy for speech since I was in first grade, and speech was hard for me, especially with spelling words out and saying words, vocabulary, and grammar. During my time there, I was able to improve my speech to where I'm at now, though it took me quite a while to improve my speech, at least all the way till 4th grade. I will say though that it did help me in the long run, as it made me feel more comfortable speaking with others around me. So if you have a high-functioning child with some speech issues, I'd say investigate what options you have for your child to improve. Don't just rely on one option though. Go through all the options you have and try each of them. If a school's special education department doesn't work out, try therapy. If not that, go on and read about it. Do anything you can in order for your child to improve. Though therapy and speech issues aren't the only concern you have to tackle, such as social skills. Now, this might be a bigger concern for some of you, considering that this is a topic that will come out throughout a high-functioning autist's life. I'd argue, though, that this is the most important time to focus on making sure your child can make friends and acquaintances, since they will essentially be around people their age due to school. There's a few ways you can go about this. Social groups made up of other parents' children, simply asking your child to get along with children in the special education classes or department, which is all well and good, but I'm not gonna knock it right now. But I'd say the best way to have them making friends is by making sure that they aren't restricted by the parents or the department. What I mean by that is this. Let the child be in normal classes. Let them interact with neurotypical children. I don't like that word, but I'm gonna say it. Have them make friends with those children. I know for some parents, that when they hear that, they get scared of going ahead and going through with that decision. But trust me, my mom was just scared to let me go with normal children back when I was in elementary. She said that she worried a lot about me and how things would go. But she knew that in order for me to start improving in life, regardless of my autism, that she had to go through with it, to be quite frank. So starting in first grade, she let me go in full-fledged normal classes with minimal help from the special education department. I did improve very well, actually, as by the time I was in 4th grade, I had a couple of very good friends I would occasionally hang around with after school. My mother was also worried about doing this as well, but said that it would better me too as well. Around this time, I also had help from the school in terms of developing my social skills by attending school-run events where high-functioning children like myself could be in the same room and improve together. Personally, I prefer the former rather than the latter method, but both are good to improve your child's social skills. In fact, I recommend running both if you can. Anyways, after 4th grade, the progress did stall a bit through 5th and 6th, considering that I did not have the best experience through those grades, since I did move schools during that time and I pretty much lost all my old friends in the process, as well as being unsuccessful with making new friends. Though that, for a couple of reasons I'm not going to get into right now, I'll cover that in a later installment of this journey I've had. Regardless, the central idea still worked even without its faults, as now I have a very close friend group to back me up. More on that in future videos though. Speaking of school, however, how about we get to the third topic? Which would be the struggles of certain subjects in school. This one's a bit more complex to explain, considering we can go down the route of how autistic people's brains works in terms of learning different subjects, but to make it simple, just like neurotypical people, high-functioning autists also have their struggles within learning in school, though it is a more amplified due to how we operate. Certain people will be lacking in terms of reading comprehension, or others will be lacking in terms of mathematics, like myself, for instance. What matters is that you and the parents acknowledge your child's shortcomings with coming up with ways to help them learn. It could be that you establish special accommodation school, it could be tutoring, or it could be studying with your kid. Regardless of the method, you have to try to advocate for your children's education, even if it means going through countless meetings with the district like my mom and dad had to do with me. Fight for a better education. Don't just take what you can get. The last section I want to talk to you about is on the mental state I'd recommend your child should be in during this time. Listen, your child is going to go through a lot when they realize they are different from everyone else around them. I myself had many times where it impacted negatively as a child, especially in the 5th and 6th, where we are ever so close to the end of childhood. But the best thing we can do is to tell them to keep an open mind, that there's more to learn even through failure. Tell them to keep themselves happy and positive, that nothing comes easy, but nothing is truly impossible. And know that while they might have to put in more work than what we would like, and trust me, I've experienced that firsthand, they can, without a doubt, get to a place where we are proud of ourselves. If they have to study math for 3 hours to get it, then let them do it and help them do it. If they gotta go to therapy in order to communicate better, then go for it. If your child has to go out of their way to make friends, let them do it and tell them what they can do. Your kid might be a little different than the rest, but you and them, the duo of parent and child, can get to their level if you know what you can do to get there and act upon that knowledge. I'll leave the video off there to end on a good note. This was Tony of The Ambitious Autist signing off. See y'all in the next video. Take care.